leaders over in the Premier League after Manchester City suffered a shock loss to Bournemouth. And what about Nottingham Forest? They're bloody third. We'll take a little look at that and much more next. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. Today is all about match number 11, of course, over in the Premier League. We'll take a look at it in a second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button. One-stop shop for Blackburn Rovers, Premier League, world football. We're going to all hear under one rooski. I cannot believe what I'm seeing. Nottingham Forest are third in the bloody table. Only one defeat all season. Chris Wood is scoring goals for fun. Can anything stop Nottingham Forest? We'll take a look at it in a second. Of course, if you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe button. Of course, your one-stop shop. Big shout out to the patrons and big shout out to the members. You know who you are. We're going to turn the clock back to this past weekend and look forward to another spicy weekend over in the Premier League. Until then, sit tight, hold on, and here we go. Alrighty then, folks. I am a disclaimer coming at you. I am coming at you prior to some games in the Premier League. Of course, the back end of this, we're talking Wolves, we're talking Spurs, we're talking Man United, we're talking Fulham. I don't think the only way that Forest will not be third is if Villa beat Spurs and Chelsea beat Man United. I don't think that will happen, but we'll see. But anyway, of course, prior to that, there were some big games. Of course, Newcastle beating Arsenal, 1-0 winners there. Leicester and Ipswich, 1-1. Of course, Liverpool putting a 2-1 win over Brighton. And then, yeah, Forest 3-0 winners over West Ham. But the big surprise was Bournemouth's 2-1 win over Manchester City. That's, of course, that. And again, when this video comes out, I may have updated the scores and I may update the table. My intro may look a bit stupid, but I'm still stunned to see the fact that Nottingham Forest are there, or there or thereabouts anyway. They're going to be probably as in the top 4 by this video anyway. So great stuff for Nuno Espirito Santo. Dare your dream. Dare your bloody dream, Nottingham Forest. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned by where they are in the table. That's, of course, the situation we have it. Of course, what shouldn't change is the fact that Wolves and Southampton will be in the drop zone, as will Ipswich Town. They will also be in the drop zone when this video goes out. So that's that. Again, Super Brew is live and active. I cannot bring you an update right now because we are recording this ahead of the time because I'm hitting the road and videos become very tricky when I get out on the road. So we're going to get them out here, right now. And again, we are not going to jump into the thick of things too much. We're gonna come at you right here, right now. Also, we're not going to come at you with the old Google Maps today. We're going to just go do it plain sailing, old school. I'm going to start with the top and work our way down. So without further ado, let's get into it. We're going to start with, of course, Brentford taking on Bournemouth, coming at you this coming weekend at the Brentford Community Stadium. Of course, Brentford will be playing Fulham on Monday night as well. It's another game that's yet to be played. But again, I'm coming at you with the form that I have right now. Again, situations in the table, their status may have changed. Injuries, of course, coming at you as well. Thomas Frank's boys, though, doing great, sitting in the 11th as of recording. 13 points to name, just one defeat in the last 5. Up against Fulham. Sorry, not when I say Fulham, I mean Bournemouth, who've been absolutely phenomenal this past handful of games, getting results against Arsenal, Man City. They've been pretty decent, aren't they? Sitting in 8th right now, 15 points to name. Now, they have played 28 times, these two sides, since 2003, 11 wins for Brentford, 9 wins for Bournemouth, 8 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue was a 2-2 draw back in September 2023. Brentford, though, are unbeaten against Bournemouth over the last 5, with the last defeat being a playoff semi-final at Bournemouth back in May 2021. Brentford, though, of course, with victories over Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup to continue their outside push for some silverware. Bournemouth with that monumental victory over Man City, of course. 13-10 is your Brentford, 15-8 is your Bournemouth, 27-10 is the draw. Which way are we going here? Going to go with a 2-0 win for Brentford. You know, Bournemouth have been smashing out the park against the big boys. When they're up against teams of a similar sort of stature, I don't think they'll get as much fanfare or as much plaudits. So I think they will struggle a little bit to break it down. A decent Brentford side who are just, you know, vanilla, right in the middle of the park. Not great, not bad, but pretty okay. Next up, we go Crystal Palace against Fulham in a bit of an all-London affair at Selhurst Park. That's right. Glasgow Ball got a big win last weekend, and of course, a big win in the Cup against Aston Villa. Back-to-back wins for Glasgow Ball. Up against Fulham, winless in 3, and have played Crystal Palace 18 times since 1999. 4 wins for Palace, 7 wins for Fulham, 7 draws between the two sides. Of course, Palace on 6 points with 17th at the table. Up against 12th place Fulham, 12 points, of course. And again, they are in action against Brentford as well. That's 3 matches between these two sides at all venues, all ended in draws. In fact, 4 of the last 5 have ended in draw. The only exclusion to that was a 3-0 win for Fulham at this very venue way back in December 2022. It was a Boxing Day. Palace again on the back of big wins against Spurs in the league, big win against Villa in the Cup to continue maybe their outside ambition for a bit of silverware. Of course, the odds for this one, 6-4 is your Palace, 8-5 is your Fulham, 12-5 is the draw. I'm going to back my Palace here on this one. Of course, no Adam Wharton, I think he's injured. 2-1 winners though for Palace to continue their recent revival under Oliver Glasner. Let's go to London Stadium. It's West Ham up against Sean Dyche and Everton. That's right, played at 60 times since 1994. 15 wins for the Hammers, 31 wins for Everton. There's been 14 draws between the two sides. West Ham under Julian Lopetegui sitting in 14th, 11 points to the name, up against Everton, who are sitting in 16th with 9 points to the name. Of course, just one defeat in the last 6 for Everton, just 1 win in 3 for West Ham. Last time they played at this venue was a 1-0 win for the Toffees back in October 2023. Of course, Everton on the back of that 1-0 loss to Southampton. Shocker there. Meanwhile, West Ham on the back of that 3-0 loss to Forest, who again are flying bloody high right now. The odds here, 11-10 on is your Hammers, 29-10 is the away win. That's Everton, 5-2 is the draw. I think this could go right down the middle here. I'm going to sit on the fence with a 1-1 draw. West Ham, sometimes can be good. Again, sometimes can be woeful. So I think this will be one of those vanilla games again, straight down the middle. And Everton will take that point all day long. Meanwhile, what a game. What a game down the foot of the table. Monumental for both Wolves and Southampton. Southampton, though, coming at you on a good bit of form under Russell Martin. Maybe, just maybe, it's all starting to click into gear for the strugglers. Up against Wolves, though, under Gary O'Neill, they might have to make a decision coming into the international break very, very soon. Wolves, though, Gary O'Neill, they're rock bottom, 2 points to the name, 8% form for them right now. Up against the Saints, back-to-back wins, 19th for the table, 4 points for the campaign. And, of course, coming into this on the back of a win. They played 23 times since 2003, 10 wins for Wolves, 7 wins for the Saints, 6 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Wolves, who were unbeaten against Southampton over the last 5. In fact, when I say unbeaten, Wolves have won 5 on the bloody bounce. All those games taking place in the Premier League. Wolves, though, on the back of that 2-2 draw against Brighton. Well, the Saints, of course, picking up that monstrous 1-0 win over Everton, also a 3-2 win over Stoke to go through to the quarterfinals in the EFL Cup. Bookies for this one, though, Wolves are 20-19 on for the victory, 14-5 the draw, 5-2 is your away win. That's the Saints. It does smell like a draw. It could be a draw, but maybe, just maybe, it might be a first win for Wolverhampton Wanderers. I think this is it. This is, if they don't win this, I think heads must roll for Gary. I think Russell Martin's bought them a bit of time with that cup run, and then, of course, that big win this past weekend as well. So, stay of execution for Southampton, but Wolves got to win it in my eyes. Next up, we go to the Amex, and this will be tricky for Man City side, who are looking a little bit off of late. Played 16 times since 2008, just 2 wins for Brighton, 13 wins for City. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. The last time they played, I'll talk about that in a minute, but Brighton, 3 games without a win. They sit 7th with 16 points to the name, against Man City, 2nd with 23 points to the name. The last time they played at this very venue was a 4-0 win for City. That was back in April 2024. There's a 7-5 victory on here. That must be penalties, surely. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, Brighton on the back of that 2-1 loss to Liverpool. Man City back-to-back away losses. This is the 3rd away game on the spin. Actually, it'll be their 4th away game on the spin. They'll take on Sporting in between this game. So, we'll see about that. So, looking to get back to winning ways. Can they get back to winning ways? I'm not too sure. It's 7-2 is your Brighton, 10-7 on is your Man City, 29-10 is the draw. Brighton can cause problems, and of course they were frustrating against Liverpool, but they couldn't get over the line in the end. I think they could be the same here. I think it will be a bit of a frustrating afternoon, and I'm going to go with a surprise 2-2 draw, because Man City are not really at themselves right now, following the cup loss, now a loss against Bournemouth. I think it's going to be a busy old week, strange week, stretched week for Man City, and they're only going to get a point. Meanwhile, we go over to Anfield in what is going to be a bit of a spicy crunch clash here. It is, of course, Liverpool up against Aston Villa. That's right, coming at you at Anfield. This match taking place on Saturday, November the 9th. They played 60 times since 1993, 35 wins for Liverpool, 13 wins for Aston Villa, 12 draws between the two sides. Villa are in 5th as of right now. Of course, Liverpool are top as of right now. 90% form for Liverpool, up against Villa on 67% form for them. Of course, both sides are in action in European competition. And of course, last match they played at this venue was a 3-0 win for Liverpool, who are unbeaten against Aston Villa over the last 6, picking up 4 wins and a couple of draws. Liverpool on the back of a 2-1 win over Brighton. Most recently, it's actually been back-to-back wins over Brighton, both in the Cup and then in the league. Of course, unbeaten since, I think they lost to Forest. Was that the last loss there? Meanwhile, Villa on the back of a couple of games without a win, drawing with Bournemouth, again, tricky Bournemouth right now, and then losing to Palace in the Cup. They'll be taking on Spurs again. I'm recording this ahead of that match. 25-12 on is your Liverpool. They are favoured. 4-1 is your Villa. 92 is your draw again. Champions League in action for both clubs here this week, which will be a distraction. Going to go with another 3-1 win, though, for Liverpool at home. They're the real deal, guys. They are the real bloody deal. Meanwhile, Manchester United up against Leicester coming at you on Sunday, November the 10th now. Ruben Almiron is expected to not be in charge for this game. I think he will take over after the international break. That's right, Ruud van Nistelrooy will remain. They've just lost once of the last 6. They sit 13th as of right now, 11 points to the name. Against Leicester and Stevie Cooper winless in the last 3. They played 38 times since 1994 in the Harry Maguire derby. 24 wins for Man United, 5 wins for Leicester, 9 draws between the two sides. Last time around was actually in the EFL Cup just the other day. 5-2 it was for Manchester United. Will Lightning strike twice? Will Lightning strike 4 times in a row? They've won 3 on the bounce, have Man United, and they've scored 9 goals against Leicester in those last 3. Leicester on the back of that 1-1 draw against Ipswich. Man United will be taking on Chelsea prior to this, and also PAOK in the Europa League. Meanwhile, the odds for this one then, United are 3-1 on for the victory, 6-1 is your Leicester, 5-1 is the draw. United on an uptick of form with Ruud in charge, who will be a little bit hard done by to be relieved of his duties after so far a decent run of events. Meanwhile, it's high-flying Forest up against Newcastle United, who can be very awkward to play against and tricky to play against. Coming at you at the City Ground, Nuno Espirito Santo with 3 on the bounce, sitting in 3rd as of recording, 19 points to name, up against Forest, who are 9th. 5th. Next up is Nottingham Forest, who are sitting in 3rd up against Newcastle United, who are sitting in 9th in the Premier League. They played 20 times since 1994, 5 wins for Forest, 12 wins for the Geordies, 3 draws between the two sides. Coming at you now, these two sides did play each other in the EFL Cup earlier in this season. It was back in August, and it was a penalty shootout victory for the Geordies. Now, the last time they played in the league at this very venue, it was a 5-goal thriller going in favour of Newcastle United. In fact, the last 4 games, whether it's been in the Cup or in the league, have gone with the away side, with the last victory for Nottingham Forest over the Geordies being a 3-1 win back in August 2018 in the League Cup. Forest, though, on the back of 3 successive wins, big wins against Palace, Leicester, and now West Ham United. The Geordies on the back of successive wins and successive clean sheets, beating Chelsea in the Cup, 2-0 win, and then Arsenal, of course, this past weekend. The odds for this one, though, we're looking at Forest 8-5 for the victory, 8-5 is your Newcastle, 5-2 the draw. Which way are you going? I don't know. I think I might be leaning towards a 1-0 win again for Forest. The momentum is there. Nuno Espirito Santo believes they've got a good camaraderie with the boys right now, and the goals are coming for matey boy up top, Chris Wood, scoring for fun. And then we go to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's Spurs up against Ipswich Town on Sunday, November the 10th. Angie's boys, 67% form for them as of recording, sitting in 10th, 13 points to the name. Up against Ipswich, 18th in the table, 5 points to the name, and coming into this on the back of a draw. They played 9 times since 1993, 4 wins for Spurs, 3 for Ipswich, 2 draws between the two sides. But the most recent match in competitive action, with Tottenham being the host, I've got to phrase this in such a way, was back in December 2001, and it was an Ipswich victory of 1-3 on the bounce competitively against Tottenham, with their last victory being a 3-1 win over Ipswich back in August on the year 2000. Spurs, though, beat Man City in the Cup. They'll be taking on who they're taking on in the league, coming at you versus Villa, that's right. Ipswich on the back of that 1-1 draw against Leicester. The odds, though, for this one, Spurs are 92 on for the victory, 11-1 is just Ipswich, 5-1 is the draw. Ipswich can't get a win right now. I'm going to go big as well. I'm going to go with a 4-1 win for Tottenham to give themselves a big old boost. And then we've seen the best to last. It's Chelsea. It's Arsenal. It's coming at you at Stamford Bridge. And Arsenal are looking a little bit wounded at the moment. Coming at you in 4th right now. Up against Chelsea. 6th, but their game in hand, of course, taking on Man United very, very soon. A 58% form for them right now. They have played 82 times, these two sides. 27 wins for Chelsea, 34 wins for Arsenal, 21 draws. Of course, with the last match at this venue being a 2-2 draw back in October 2023. Arsenal, though, are unbeaten against Chelsea over the last 6, picking up 5 wins. And just that 1 draw in recent times. Arsenal on the back of that 1-0 loss to the Geordies. Chelsea also losing to Newcastle. in the cup most recently as well. The bookies, though, again, both sides are in action. Of course, Chelsea got United and then Noah Yerevan in the the Conference League situation over there. And then Arsenal with Internazionale coming at you in a spicy away week for Arsenal. Of course, coming at you 9-5 is your Chelsea, 7-5 is your Arsenal, 12-5 is the draw. I think it's must win now for Arsenal if they're going to be serious contenders for the league. And I have them just getting over the line. 2-1 win over Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. That's a statement result because Chelsea ain't no slouches, guys. That, my friends, completes my pickerinos. Make sure you get your own picks in as well using the link. The Super Brew will bring you bang up to date very, very soon with that. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. Catch you later, guys and girls. But we are done for now.